Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be scaping this super awesome UNS 120P.
A 120P is a 78-gallon tank and it's 120 centimeters by 50 by 50. This is by far the biggest tank I've ever scaped, which is good because I'm getting too used to doing those nano tanks.
We're planning to scape this in a very traditional, classic aquascaping style with a ton of stems, a full foreground. So stay tuned. We hope you enjoy. So before we start off with the usual contra soil, this is a prototype product that we've been currently working on. This is a nutrient-based supplemental substrate that I'm gonna add to the bottom layer before Parker pours the contra soil over it. It provides stem plants with a ton more nutrients from the start. And as long as you top it off with contra soil, you won't experience extra algae problems or anything like that in the beginning stages of your tank.
And to cap off the contra base, we're using the classic contra soil black. And we opted for fine and extra fine. We were planning to use the fine for the stems and then the extra fine up front where we're planting the carpet just to make sure it holds a little bit better. So this is about what we were planning for the hardscape. When me and John were messing with this wood, one of the things we kept thinking of was like Game of Thrones, the Iron Throne, the chair with all the swords coming out of it. It's kind of what this scape reminds me of. We're using the Malaysian Driftwood. It has these really cool like spike look compared to some of the other woods that we've used.
And one tip for every aquascaper out there, save the box lid that comes with your tank. This is the exact same footprint as your tank, so we used it as kind of like a scaping area. I would always suggest starting with the bulk of the hardscape first inside your tank. So we're gonna scape this right side first because it's the more complex and the largest side. And then from there, we'll basically make this side fit together in the tank.
So the rock we chose to go with was this Manten stone, and we chose this because it doesn't take away too much from this complex woodscape that we chose to build. We want the wood to be the main focus and the rocks, as John mentioned, to be kind of supporting pieces to hold our wood into our pre-planned scape. And this will give a good base to glue to. It won't float, it'll hold the wood down while it soaks up the water.
You might find yourself actually having to modify your pre-scaped hardscape as you go. For example, like some of these thorns might get in the way, so we might have to finagle it in a certain angle or to just take it off. We're finding out that some of the pieces don't really fit nicely, so we're adjusting this hardscape just little by little until it looks pleasing to the eye. And as you can tell by my gloves, it looks like the Wolverine got me. But yeah, so we'll just keep going, and we might just have to find different smaller pieces here and there to fill in the gaps.
So another tip, when you're doing your hardscape, if you're looking to adjust wood to size and you're using a small piece like this, a lot of people jump to using a saw, which totally works, but it gives kind of an unnatural cut. So what we do is we like to break off these edges with a hammer, and it kind of gives you a more organic sort of edge.
All right, so we finally have the hardscape done. We're satisfied with the overall look of it with soil and with the sloping. The next part will be securing all the hardscape with glue. And then after that, it's the fun part, it's planting.
Pretty stoked with how the hardscape came out. We definitely changed it up a little bit from what we originally had planned when we were using the lid to scape. I'm really happy with how it looks now. It's a bit more dynamic and there's a bit better a sense of depth, partially because of the soil, but we also played with the angle of the wood to kind of be aiming towards the front at the viewer and aiming towards the back to give kind of two different fields of depth in the scape.
So stay tuned and we'll be back soon.
Yeah, thank you.